Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Hello and welcome to 246. Welcome to Connor on the Air. I'm your host, Connor. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I came on the air today because I wasn't going to do it, but now I am because of something, which is the Premier. Now, as we've seen, there were 6 new cases today in Queensland. Previously, and there's no lockdown in Queensland. There were 6 new COVID cases today locally. And in the past, this Premier has chosen to go hard and fast into lockdown. Whether that's a good or bad strategy, I don't think so. I think it's good what they've done this time, because this time there has been no lockdown. There's been no lockdown, but there must be a reason because of that, because in the past we've locked down over 4 cases, we've locked down over 3 cases, we've locked down over 2 cases, and we've even locked down over 1 singular case before, because she said it was the highly infectious Alpha strain, the UK strain. It's highly infectious, which Delta, as a fact, is a lot more infectious than the Alpha strain, also known as the UK strain. So there you have it. Now, the only difference between all of those other times that we've locked down and now is that I hear there's something is going on. I hear that some once in a lifetime opportunity is going. This once in a lifetime opportunity is what many people think is the reason why we're not in lockdown. Now, I honestly think it's a good thing that we're not currently in lockdown, because I know it's going to be terrible for our economy. It's going to be terrible for us in general. But I know it's an irregular pattern here. That's the reason. The Premier loves her football games, I will tell you. And she says she may even be going herself. Have a look at this.
Premier, there's a lot of people out there who believe the only reason we're not in lockdown is because the NRL Grand Finals.
Well, that's not correct.
I was going to say, has it had any influence at all in any
decision
making?
Absolutely none. And let me make it very clear that the health of Queenslanders comes first. And as soon as Dr. Young says we need to move into a lockdown, we will.
So we previously went into lockdown, say for example when the women worked at the Prince Charles Hospital went to Townsville. So why not this time when they've got more cases?
We're actually moving to tighter restrictions. Our vaccination rates are up. People are checking in. But as soon as we see further seeding, which is not from people who are in isolation, then they will be the trigger points that Dr. Young will look at.
For the NRL Grand Final, though, there's going to be reduced capacity.
Correct.
What happens to those ticket holders?
Well, you'll have to talk to the stadiums and NRL about that, but they can factor that in.
But you've got thousands of people missing out.
Well, it's going to be disappointing for people, but we have to take the health advice. The health advice is to move to stage 2. Stage 2 says 75% capacity. That's what it will be.
The Ability Institute modelling that National Cabinet will consider on Friday looks at the effect on Indigenous communities and schools. Do you think after you review that updated modelling, you'll be able to have a better idea about where you're estimating?
Well, when I get that updated modelling, I'll have a look at it and we'll be discussing it at National Cabinet.
Is there any other kind of modelling you'd like to be done or to see before you make?
So, of course, the reason why she's not going is because people are checking in. People are vaccinated, yada yada. Do you think you can really believe a word that comes out of this Premier's mouth at this current time? I mean, she's probably a good person overall, but just saying, do you think we really believe that? I just personally, I like to believe what people are saying are true, but it's just a little sus, and I understand why a lot of people do not believe that. Now, she also says that there has been a few restrictions introduced. Just that mask mandate. The masks were already mandatory, by the way. People are saying they've introduced a mask mandate into Queensland because of they haven't introduced that. Nothing is unusual here. So there was just a minor. The mainstream media keep saying that they've already done all this, but if you have a look at some other alternative news networks, you'll understand. Now, the mainstream media, that what they were saying is they've introduced all these mask mandates. The mask mandate was already in place. You already had to wear a mask indoors and outdoors when you can't social distance. You were allowed to take that mask off when you were seated. When you were seated. Now, the mask mandate you're only allowed to take it off when you're seated, when you're eating and drinking. If you're seated just in a cinema or in church or seated in a shopping centre or at a bus stop, no, that is not good. That's not good enough. So really, the mask restrictions aren't that different, but they have said that they're reducing the capacities of big venues such as the NRL Grand Final, this once in a lifetime opportunity. They're reducing these capacities to 75%. And 75%, that means that over 1,000 people are going to lose their tickets to this once in a lifetime event, and people may be very mad. However, the Premier herself, she's not going to give up her ticket. Of course, she's going to go to the NRL Grand Final. I don't exactly have that clip here, but I wish I could show you. She was saying she told us that the NRL Grand Final, I may be going to it myself. I have my tickets booked. I was first in, best dressed. It's one rule for them, one rule for the rest. Let's get that straight. Also, now I'd like to talk about Victoria, which you probably have already heard it. What is happening in Victoria with Daniel Andrews being sued by WorkSafe Victoria. Now, of course, no one can go to jail over this. The maximum thing is a fine, which basically money would be going from one part of the State Department to the other, not out of Daniel Andrews' bank account. That'll just be taxpayer money. It's very sad to see that you can really get away with murder just by working for a government organisation. The reason why WorkSafe Australia is suing the Andrews government is because of the hotel quarantine. They weren't giving the security guards the proper access to PPE that they need. There were over 800 deaths from that hotel. A safe workplace because nobody is above the law. They had an ad campaign, and you can see it for yourself. I think that's all I want to say for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Connor, aka Condu246. Thank you for watching 246 News.